What up? Welcome to Homegrown Hustle, where local brilliance takes the center stage. I'm your host, Matt Eickman. Together, we're about to embark on an inspiring journey. Our community thrives on the wisdom of insightful leaders that are right here in our backyard. And we're bringing their expertise to your ears. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur or simply seeking inspiration, this podcast is your guide. Join us every week in celebrating innovation, guidance, and the power to inspire greatness. Let's explore the stories that shape our local business landscape, and together, let's ignite the spark of excellence. What up? Welcome to the Homegrown Hustle podcast, everybody. We're back after paternity leave. Mom's healthy, baby's healthy. Appreciate all the well wishes there and everything. We're not missing a beat here at the Hustle, though. So got a special one here for you today coming from shooting from the office. So going to be a little different. Going to go solo on it, but I'm sure you guys are going to love it. So make sure you like, follow, do all that stuff. Share it with your friend afterwards because this one's going to be some fire. So I've been having quite a few people. First off, we do quite a bit of marketing, but we are not a marketing agency. I've had quite a few people reach out to ask me and my team if we can help them with their marketing. That's not what we do, but with the current state of the economy, everything going on, I'm getting a lot of questions just about how do we drive more revenue? How do we get more leads here? Especially for seasonal businesses or really any home service industry. This time of year is when it really pops off. I think we all know that. But this year, there's some things that are a little different, right? So I wanted to spend a little time today talking about some real easy wins, some things you can do to generate some new leads, some more business for you and your team. And some of them are really easy. You might already know them. And some of them are kind of some hidden magic that we run over here at Abra. So we'll kind of start off right off the bat. So this is going to be mostly focused on home service industries. So where you're actually going out, you're doing a service at somebody's home, but it can probably be applied to different retail spaces or any brick and mortar type of marketing as well. So first off, we're going to start with the free stuff. Free stuff is great. We love that. So some of the easiest low-hanging fruit is legit just Google My Business. So Google My Business, go on there. If you have a physical location, make sure you put in that address. You go through the full process, follow all the steps. Google doesn't put stuff there for us to not do it. So if it's there and you can fill it out or complete that, fill that section out. The more information Google has, the better service provider they think that you are. So they're going to put you in front of more people. Again, this is a $0 thing, so getting it set up is kind of step one. But then this is really a platform that I believe should be managed similar to a social media channel, something that is going to take a little bit more time ongoingly. Now, I'm not saying you got to go on and engage and do all these type of things, but Google wants to see as a service provider that you're actually performing services in these different areas. So when you or your team's out and doing work, taking photos, uploading those into the updates or the photo section there in the Google My Business, it's really going to better inform Google that, yes, you are a service provider that also performs services in these areas. So the metadata that's within those photos that you post on there can be really beneficial to help Google just see you as a qualified vendor, because Google really wants to just deliver a high quality customer experience, a lot like you and I do, right? So if Google's sending us leads, they want to know that we're going to be able to take care of that customer and that customer is going to have a good experience, because Google wants them to search on Google again. So the more you can do that, the more you can answer the phone when it rings, the more updates you put in there with descriptions about what type of work you're doing with specific keywords that maybe you're running in your pay-per-click campaigns, things like that are really going to inform Google the type of service that you're doing, where you're doing it, things like that. It's really important there. There's a few things that can really help you get to the top 3 in the map pack, right? So when somebody does a Google search, there's tons of different ways you can market and get all the way to the top, but the free stuff, Google My Business, if you're in the top 3 for a particular service area, for example, pest control near me, if you're in Excelsior, pest control Excelsior, because we have an office in Excelsior and we're close to the city center, we're going to be preferred as one of those top providers. Other things that are really important on Google My Business that really get overlooked, driving 5-star reviews. And that's one of the other keys here to performing to being in the top 3 for the search result is having a lot of Google reviews. First thing is going to be having a physical location, like an actual business address that is within proximity, typically 15 miles to whatever the center of that city is. So if you're in Minneapolis, you want to be number 1 there, find the closest building you can to city center, rent a spot, buy a spot, whatever it is, and get yourself listed, because proximity is really important when it comes to the service industry. Another thing for Google My Business is when we get these reviews, let's respond to them, whether it's good, bad, regardless. Google wants to see that there's an active service provider on the other end that's going to engage with the customers that had a good experience, right? So they want us to answer the phone. They want us to deliver a high-quality customer experience, and then when that feedback comes back into Google from the customer, Google then wants to see, oh, thank you for giving us the review. We really appreciate your business, yada, yada, yada. Whatever it might be, if you can get 100% answer rate on those 5-star reviews, it's super simple. For those of you that have 300, 400, 500 Google reviews and you haven't responded to a single one of them, shame on you. Get your ass on there, start replying to them so that you can really inform Google that, yes, this isn't just something we set up and forgot about. This is something we're actively managing. And if you do this over time, the consistency is going to move it up to the top. So Google My Business, fill that out. There's a few other iterations that are similar. In our market, we're getting into it now. But some other markets, this is like the number 1 search channel. So Yelp, Bing, those other search platforms, if you can get on there, there's similar Google My Business, similar listings to Google My Business where it's actually a map physical location. For those of you that have brick and mortar, get them filled out, try to capture those leads. Again, this is a free thing. It's not something you got to spend money for, just to set up that basic account. Let's see here. So there's Apple Business, Yelp, Bing, Google My Business. Those are kind of just the big platforms where you can get free searches. For those of you that are putting video content out already, another good one you can use that's got some search intent behind it is YouTube. Obviously, it's one of the biggest search platforms in the world. So the only thing that's different is this one requires video for you to show up on the search. So high quality video, it's definitely the direction of the future. That's where all marketing is going. And really, it's coming down to like shorter 15 to 30 second clips when we're talking the reels or social media stories, things like that. But the long form does really well also. So figure out what your niche is, get dialed in there, and just bring value. It doesn't have to be buttoned up and like the prettiest thing all the way around. Really, if you're trying to get some business and you don't have it right now, these are really small things you can do that maybe it's going to get you outside your comfort zone. But I think that's good, because when we're outside that comfort zone, that's when we really allow ourselves an opportunity to grow and change. If we're always comfortable, always doing the same thing and never in front of the camera, well, kind of know what you're going to get from that result. So make yourself uncomfortable, put some videos out there, do some real easy things. And then here's some magic, guys. Pay attention. Now you can take that same video that you used on this channel and you can put it over on Facebook, or you can put it on Instagram and trim it up or change it a little bit. But whatever it might be, this video type of content, if it's bringing value, it can be repurposed on a lot of these different platforms. So it's really something that gets overlooked quite a bit. Another thing, I probably should have started with this one because I don't want to get on a soapbox here, but I might. So we're talking about leads, right? You own a plumbing company, or let's say lawn care, because grass is growing now. So you own a lawn care company. You've got all your materials. You've got seasonal guys hired. You're coming into spring and you get some rain, or the economy is how it is right now. And you got 4 or 5 guys sitting there waiting for the work to come in, but you don't have it coming in. So you're kind of freaking out a little bit. Well, if you've been in business for any period of time, that means somebody's paid you to do service in the past. Hopefully you have a database that has all that information in it. You should. If you don't, do that. But having some type of database where you can look back and say, yep, I did service for this person back in 2021, whatever it might be, it's going to allow you to really track progress. And for the successful businesses out there, there's CRMs that really integrate really easy. And most of you are probably already using this, but if you're not, get yourself an easy CRM. Go find a low cost or a cheaper option if money's really that tight. But now that we have this database, it's all about database management. So all these different contacts that you have in there, one, you've paid for that lead. Two, they may have already done business with you, which makes that person have a higher propensity to do business with you again. So we've kind of captured a higher likelihood of a high close rate if we just present them with the offering, right? So outbound campaigns to your current database is seriously one of the most overlooked things when it comes to service industries. A lot of people are really, really, really good at the technical side of things. You might have the best lawn care company in the world, best at mowing lawns or making an edge, whatever it is you guys do. That shit doesn't matter if you can't bring revenue in the door, right? Right? So who really cares about that? Let's get better at the business side of things. Let's develop a sales organization, something that's going to really drive growth rather than react to the growth that's happening to your business. We're very proactive at Abracadabra. Everything that we do has an incredible amount of intent behind it. We've got all these people. They're in our database. What do? We pick the fucking phone up and start calling them. That's what we do. So we've got a database. We've got, let's call it, got 2,000 customers. All right. So those 2,000 customers, all 2,000 of them have done business with you. So if we present them with another offering, maybe they'll do it again. So let's say we are going to call 100 of them. So we pick the phone up. We don't have anything else to do except for freak out because we don't have leads, but we really do. So we take this list of 100 and we just start calling them, start checking in. Hey, it's Brian with Green Grass Outdoor Services, whatever the heck it is that you do. I'm here just reaching out, want to check in, see how your day's going. I know we did work for you a little while ago. We've got a little bit of room in our calendar here this season. Wanted to let you know we'd love to get you on the calendar. Would you like to sign up again for services this year? And just ask for the business. Because more often than not, the deal's already done. They're just busy in their own world. And unless we present that offering to them, it's going to be something else that's going to have to trigger them to call you. So don't wait for the business. If you've got customers that have been happy with you in the past, don't rely on their memory to have them come find you again, right? If you don't have some type of nurture campaign, something that's staying in front of them, so next time they need their lawn mowed because they're out of town for a month or whatever, that they already think of you. Maybe they can't remember Green Grass Lawn Care Services. Maybe they call it Green Acres and they do a search for that. Now they end up at a totally different business. So take care of your customers. Just because you did work for them a year ago, 2 years ago, doesn't mean they're not a customer still. They're only not a customer if you choose to decide that they aren't a customer. So engaging with them at any level. So you call 100 of them. Let's say you get, call it 10% close rate. You just got 10 jobs for free. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sink in. You taking the time to do that got you business for free because they've already paid you. You've already captured the ROI in that initial lead. You've already done business for them. Now they're just it's just sitting out there waiting. Ducks on the pond, if you want to call it that. So create some type of initiative behind it. I guarantee you, if you have any type of focus or consistency behind this, I guarantee you that you can get another 10 to 25% of revenue just from touching your current customers and either cross-selling them on a new service that you're offering or something that they haven't done with you in the past, or offering that service you did for them again. If it's dryer vent cleaning, whatever it might be, just get in contact with them, get in front of them so you're top of mind. Here's some other stuff. This is some fun stuff. So we're going to move away from the customer contact list. Obviously, phone calls are the fastest. You can shoot emails, you can do texts, whatever. At the end of the day, get in front of them. And if you really need business, pick the phone up as a business owner. Don't rely on somebody else. Pick the phone up, go out there and get you some business. and then let me know how it goes. Because I know some of you are going to listen to this and you're going to say, I'm not going to do that. I got other stuff to do. And that's fine. But those of you that do it, I want you to report back so everybody else knows how well it actually works. So let's talk social media. So some of the things I like about social is, again, it's free. It can be free. You can pay for it also, and you can get in front of a lot more people that way, or you can just create content consistently that brings value, whether it's entertainment value with some humor or like a knowledge-based type of value, whatever it might be, creating something that you can put out there and get in front of people, and then slowly build your audience. So Facebook and Meta are two of the biggest ones, especially for any type of residential consumer. If you're focused more on the commercial market, you're going to want to be on LinkedIn, things like that. LinkedIn is kind of making a comeback, and video is really a major arbitrage opportunity there. There's a lot of attention that's getting pushed over to LinkedIn from these other channels, and if you can win with video there, it's big wins. So the only difference is you can't speak to a residential customer on a LinkedIn type of channel because that customer is not consuming it in that state of mind. They're consuming it in their business state of mind, right? So if you're trying to get in front of a property manager, communicating in a language that's going to make sense to them on that page is really important. This is something that a lot of people, as they're getting into social, they kind of don't realize. I didn't realize for the longest time early on, but understanding what thought process people are in when they go to Facebook or Instagram and what the type of content they're looking to consume on that channel is. It's really important so that you can tailor your messaging, you can tailor the content style and approach that way so that, again, it has some type of strategy behind it. But don't let all that shit get in the way of you actually doing it. Like, the thing with business guys, we talk about it all the time on The Hustle, you got to do stuff. And all these things, like, these are things you can do. And if you're in the service industry and you're one of those guys that have reached out to me, we've already talked about it, but like, you got to go do some of these things to get new business, right? If you don't got a big budget for marketing, you got to go find it. You got to go knock on a door. You got to reach out. You got to create some type of action so that through that action, something else can happen because of it, right? Or you put some action in, and the thing that happens is you learn, hey, I ain't ever doing that again. That was a waste of my time. Or next time I do that, I'm going to do it this way because I think it'll have a better result. But I'm going to tell you, you're just going to sit there and you're going to want to just not do anything. You're probably going to have the same result you have right now. So if you're listening to this, I'm going to assume you're somebody that takes action. So pick one of these channels, right? Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Pick one and focus on that for a month. Focus on one post every other day. Focus on taking photos when you're out in the field, something that visibly demonstrates the work that you do without you actually having to say it, and put it out there so that people know that you do work and you're not just sitting there listening to podcasts, but you're out there doing a high level of work and something that's visual that can represent to them, hey, that's this type of service. If you do that consistently, over time, you're going to get results. People are going to think about you. They're going to start to know you better. One of my favorite things with social media, it's so freaking easy. So the human brain likes to see other humans. So people who do posts, and it's always like from the POV type of view, they miss a major opportunity because a lot of people really just want to see other humans. So if you're not getting a lot of engagement or people aren't looking at your content, there's a good chance that you don't have any humans in it or you don't have any eyeballs. So if you can get people in the photo, like yourself or a customer or whatever it is, and you're smiling at the camera, I know it's cheesy and whatever, but when you do that, people are subconsciously triggered to stop. And it's not going to happen every time, but we've seen over time, the last few years, we've been really focusing on social. The pictures where we have multiple human beings in the photo, or even just one, like those perform significantly better than any other type of content that we do. Whether it's video form of something that we've done from a graphic creation standpoint, or fill in the blank, doesn't matter. You put people in the photos and you're going to get more engagement. You're going to get more interaction. And for the people that are out there and they're like, oh, I don't want people to make fun of me, blah, blah, blah. Well, life's all about choices, right? And that person that might make fun of you, that I feel bad for that person, right? But something's going on in their life where they're going to step out and they're going to say something bad to you because you're a keyboard warrior over there. And it's just sad. So like, rather than like letting that person have control over your life, like think about like what might be going on, and also think like there's a good chance that nobody's going to say anything, and then you're just getting in your own way. So get the hell out of the way, start making some content. Other stuff that's absolute money on social, Facebook groups. I know a lot of you are already on there, and there's a lot of kind of, I don't want to throw out any type of, I don't want to throw any industries under the bus there. So I'm going to breeze over that. I'm going to keep going. But like, insert industry type that always hops on these Facebook pages and makes the same posts and says they're going to be in the area and they got a special deal. That's great, but it doesn't have quite the impact is what I'm about to talk about. So on these channels, if you can find 1 or 2 or 3 people that you know that are also on those channels who've done business with you and you've got a good relationship, ask them to create a post about your business, about the quality of business that you are and what you've done on those channels, right? So right now, let's say for pest control. So when we have people go and they take the action to support our business, help us grow, they go out onto, call it the Brooklyn Park Facebook page. So they go to the Brooklyn Park Facebook page, they write a little blurb. Matt and his team at Abracadabra are awesome. We've been working with them for 15 years. They always go above and beyond. Got great leadership, great team, and always a high level of service. With mosquito season coming up, this is a great company to keep in mind if you're looking for a quote this year. Give them a call. Here's their phone number. Here's their website. We'd really appreciate your business, or they would really appreciate your business. Freaking slam dunk, like every time. Every time you're going to get 4, 5, 6, 7 leads from that. Now, it's important to make sure that it's authentic, right? Like if you're trying to manipulate people and create other pages so that you can do these posts yourself, people are going to figure that out. They're pretty wise. So if you don't have people that have had a good experience that are willing to do this for you, then the angle I recommend taking is this. You go on there, take a picture of yourself, your family, whatever it might be, even if you're just standing in front of your truck. You say, hey, my name's Johnny. My wife and I started this company a few years ago because we just had our first child and I want to create a future for them. So part of what I'm trying to do, create a future for them, is I'm trying to show them that I can deliver a high quality service and hard work so that over time as they grow, they can see what it looks like to build something and what it looks like to run a business, whatever it might be, whatever speaks to you and is authentic. Talk about what you do, talk about the areas you service in, tell them you're grateful for the support that the community's given you up till now and you appreciate it moving forward. Again, people are going to search for these things on these different pages. They're going to search for bugs or ants or whatever, because on these channels in the search bar, you can search for all these things, and people go back years and years and they find posts that were put out there that their neighbors have responded to and said, call Abracadabra or whatever. And then they call us because those things lived there for a really, really long time. Let's see. So those two are really easy, whether you're making that post yourself or somebody else is. But if you're just going on there fishing, the results aren't quite as good. You can get some really low-hanging fruit, especially if it's timed properly with mosquito season or snow melt or a big snowstorm, whatever it might be. These type of things, it's really just low-hanging fruit. It's just activity-based. So you put the work in, you stay consistent with it, the results are going to come, but you got to do it. So let me take a step back. So when we're talking social media posts, for those of you who can't think of anything to do on a video, or you're really that self-conscious, then don't do the video. Do something else. Go to your website, grab a topical landing page that you have for that season for a particular service, post that on your social media page, and write a little blurb about what you're dealing with day to day, what you dealt with yesterday in regards to that topic. So if we're talking like a lawn treatment, lawn application, grab that page, post that link on social media, and go on there and say, our routes are filling up this season. We've been doing a lot of work in Shorewood, Greenwood, and around Lake Minnetonka. And there's a few more spots that we have available here. If you're in one of these areas and you're looking to do business with a high quality service provider, we'd love to give you a free quote. Just send me a DM or give me a call. Put your phone number in. Again, free. This is free stuff. You've already created the content. All you're doing is recycling it, bringing it back to the surface so that people can see it and it can trigger something in their own mind so that they can initiate that process of doing business with you again. So those are three of my favorites. Outside of literally just walking down the street, knocking on doors and walking into businesses and talking about who you are, what you do, those are some of my favorite really low-hanging fruit options. So if you don't got a budget, hop in on one of those things, start creating some type of consistent action, and over time, I guarantee you what you're going to see is that action is going to do a few things. You're going to learn about that process, that platform, whatever you're posting on, and then you're also going to see the results. So take an hour a week, hour a day, whatever it is, and commit to it, and then put the action in and start to look at the results over time. Don't do it in 1 week. Don't do it in 2 weeks. Do it for a month, then look back at the results. And then you can give me a call and say, Matt, I love you so much. Thank you for helping me with that. It's really easy. Like, this stuff is easy, but we make it complicated because when we're in business, we kind of get this separation between what we need and what we can do to impact that need. So when we think we need more leads, we really don't. We need more business, right? The lead doesn't get you the business unless that person's going to buy from you. So getting to whoever's going to be the best to do business with, which is probably going to be somebody who's done business with you in the past or a neighbor to somebody who's done business with you in the past, that increases your likelihood of closing the business even more. So we can get to the paid side of things. People who don't understand their marketing, if you're planning to scale your business at all and you're not going to bring a head of marketing in early on, spend some time to learn this stuff. You're going to save yourself thousands of dollars. Speaking from experience here, thousands of dollars of tuition, right? You're paying tuition to yourself for any of these failures or issues that you run into by not educating yourself. So I do not do any of the web marketing or content creation, any of the back end stuff. That's not me. I know that's not my skill set, but we work with one of the best teams in the whole country. And they're actually based right here in the Twin Cities. Shout out Northwing Digital. The team's awesome over there. Home service industry is one of the big niches that they work in. But I mean, I know a lot of the tradesmen they've been speaking with recently, they're coming over from other marketing agencies because they're not getting the leads that they want, and they don't actually know why they're not getting the leads. So their solution is to just switch to somebody else and let's start over. That's not the right solution, in my opinion. The right solution is to really start to understand what the problem actually is so that you can solve it. But the easiest thing to do is say, they're not doing their job, you're fired. It's stupid. Don't do that. Especially if that's the only conversation you've had with them. A lot of people are just checking a box saying, yep, here's my $5,000 for the month. Get me some leads. And then if it doesn't happen, now you're mad at them. But you don't even tell them what you're really looking for, right? So take the time, commit to it for 12 months, 24 months, whatever it is, and then look at the results. So as the feedback comes back to your marketing agency, they can see, okay, we did this the first 3 months. These two things worked well. This one didn't work that well. So we're going to change this, and we're going to double down on these other two things. And now going into month 4, 5, 6, the results can be exponentially higher because now they've received that feedback from their initial marketing efforts. So I hope you're tracking with me here because it's really not that difficult. But whatever it is, when we're talking about marketing, especially paid marketing, you need to understand what your budget is, what you're willing to spend to get new business in the door. And then it's just maximize that. So if it's $5,000, if it's $100, if it's $10, whatever, we want to get as many qualified leads for that dollar amount as possible. So identify what that channel is. Social media is really cheap if you can run the right ads with a little geo on it. Nowadays, you can get thousands of leads for low to $0. Really, it just takes a little bit of strategy and some type of consistent focus behind it. what I see a lot of times, especially in the pest control and lawn care space, and even roofing for that matter, people flip their campaigns on and off, right? Because they're really just chasing leads. They're chasing a new dollar. And that's fine. Sometimes that's the position where you're at in your business. But those businesses that are really looking to scale it, you got to look at marketing as part of a growth strategy, right? So part of your growth strategy is to take $5,000 a month, put that into the future business of the business, right? The current business we have that already exists. This $5,000 is going towards next month's or next quarter's or next year's business. And capturing all those leads, putting them in your database, now that's allowing you to build over time the people that are within your sphere. So the important part here is like staying consistent and staying behind the strategy and not just moving shit around, turning it on and off because of how busy it is or how stressed you get when your phone's ringing and you're up on somebody's roof doing a quote or whatever it is. That's fine. That's part of it. But at the end of the day, we still want to get to as many of those as possible. And if you have too many leads, I don't really think that's a problem. Why are we turning anything down, people? You got too many leads or you can't answer the phone. That means you got a different problem to solve. It means you maybe aren't the best CSR, or maybe you need some type of phone answering service or AI platform to help take care of those customers, or some type of web portal so that the person can call and schedule and do it all there. But it doesn't mean that you don't need more leads, because those leads, again, are the future business. It's not this business. It's not what I'm doing today or tomorrow. It's the future business. It's the growth. And for people that are early on in business, they look at that $5,000 like this is my $5,000. It's going in my pocket. Or I'm going to send it to Google. So if you send it to Google, you want it to come back in the form of more than $5,000, right? But if you don't have consistency and strategy behind any of it, you're throwing money here and throwing money there, it's really hard for you to look back and measure and track the success of a particular marketing initiative because there's too much variability, right? And now we're really just making decisions on emotions, and that can get you in a world of hurt. So take some time, find whatever that channel is. It's going to be the best for you. Paid ads. This is how I prioritize it in my mind. So we're going to do the free stuff first. Then if we really need leads, bad. A Google local service, GLS, GBP, Google local service. That's the paid leads where Google essentially vets all these people that are searching, and based off the budget that you put together in the search criteria and locations, they're going to give you a qualified lead, period. So if you've got money, you need business, this is one of the fastest ways to do it, as long as you can answer the phone. Otherwise, you're going to be paying for that lead and you're not going to answer the phone. So those of you that have CSRs and the phone's just not busy and you're not using this part of the Google marketing pack yet, get on there, make it happen. I know people who've grown $20 million businesses literally just using that, just that. They might have some of these other things, but that they don't even think about it because it's such a consistent lead source for them in that particular market. The competition that they have isn't quite as great, so they can just buy the whole market. If you've got a big enough budget, you can win a lot. So Google local service, good place to start. Figure out your budget, try to maximize it. Key here, answer every freaking phone call. Google, again, wants to see that when they send you business, that you're going to answer it and you're going to take care of them. It's critical. If you don't answer it, you get a call answer rate below I think it's 80%. You're now deprioritized on that list of service providers. So GLS, answer that, respond to the messages that you get, but most importantly, report back the feedback to Google on those leads. And a little hack is Google wants to hear that you close every single one. So even if you don't close it, if you want to get more leads, we found one of the best ways to get more leads is to just tell Google we closed it, because now that feedback is, these people are really good. We give them business. They take care of those customers. That customer doesn't have to do another search and call another company. That's a good indicator. So that's really a small thing that gets overlooked once people get a little busy in season, is the actual management of GLS platform. So get in there. If you've got questions, reach out to me or my team. We can walk you through it a little bit, but it's pretty straightforward. There's a lot of resources out there to get it set up. A few things here. You got to have your insurance in order. You've got to have the right licensing and everything for that space. Part of the process from a vendor standpoint to Google is they want to make sure that the vendors that they put on there, that they're legit, that you're not a sketchball. So that you have to jump through a few hoops to make these things happen. But once you do that, man, let me tell you, it can be a fire hose if you got a good team put together and you've got the right call center in place. But again, it's all about what your capacity is and understanding how much you have to spend within your marketing budget. So this is this is probably the highest dollar cost when it comes to paid ads, but it's guaranteed result, right? So let's say these leads come in at $100 a lead. That's kind of expensive, right? If you can go to Facebook, you can get leads for like $2 and you can actually do it. Like I like that a lot more, but if you don't know you can have success there, don't bank on it, right? If you got people that need stops to go to tomorrow or later this week, like you better get some leads in the door. If you're not doing those first three things, pony up, cowboy, get your freaking wallet out and spend some money. Otherwise, like be real with yourself and talk about whether or not you actually want to grow this business. Because it's fine if you don't, but like a certain point, the business growth, there's a trade-off between, do I get to keep putting all this in my pocket and like building my personal wealth, or am I going to invest in the future of this organization? And everybody who's running a business has to make that decision for themselves. I'm not here to make it for anybody, but I know for us, we've got massive goals, and a lot of what we do is going right back into the business, or it's going to the war chest that we're building, so that when we're really trying to get it, then we can get after it and we can put some funds behind something and make shit happen fast, right? But early on, that thought process that the business owner goes through, that's the bottleneck. So make that decision yourself. How much do you need to make? And if you're already making that, well, do you need to make more, or do you want to do something else with that? Or can you better take care of your employees? Things like that. But being the crazy, stressed out business owner with a bunch of money, like it's not all that's cracked up to be. Let me tell you, it's not. And I've gone through various different stages. I know early on, pre-$1 million, that business owners can make some of the most money in their business pre-$1 million, because the leadership structure that's required is very minimal. Any type of overhead that's there is pretty minimal. You can run a lot of stuff out of your garage up to that point, so you can be making bank. And then that's the hurdle. It's between your own ears. It's like, do I need to keep making this 20% margin on my gross revenue, or can I cut this down a little bit, still make good money, and take the rest of this and put it towards next year's growth? That's a decision everybody has to make, but it's hard. Because as a business owner, you got to step backwards in your personal income a little bit. You have to step backwards from being the guy that just deposits all that cash in the bank or gets a new truck at the end of the year, whatever it might be, so that when you're trying to grow, the cash hasn't all been siphoned out of the business and put in your personal account, right? It's still there, and it can be used to take action in a different area for growth. So sorry, I got a little soapbox there. So we want to maximize ad spend. So GLS is going to be a high dollar amount. Pay-per-click, if you're good at it, it can be really, really successful. However, I've seen people lose thousands of dollars. We're talking six-figure thousands for people that have big budgets and not a lot of focus on their marketing dollars. I know a few people in the exterior remodeling business, the first quarter beat them up. With all the tariffs and everything going on in the economy, like purchasers are making different decisions. And if you're just throwing money at something, checking a box saying, yep, we're marketing again, and you're not actually tracking it, things like pay-per-click, like it can bleed you dry. So you got to make sure that those campaigns are running and they're actually generating the business that you need. And if you're doing it yourself, that's great, because you can have the full feedback loop. If you're not, reporting back the type of leads you get to your marketing team is absolutely critical for the success of that marketing relationship. So make sure you have regular meetings set with your marketing team to talk about the progress successes and failures, whatever it is, from the previous month or previous week, so that you can keep moving the needle in the right direction. Here's the gold. So we're going to get to some like the paid side of social media. So one of my favorite things that we've implemented is a remarketing campaigns based off of the Meta pixel. So what the pixel is, essentially Meta's got a piece of code that if you insert into your website, essentially if somebody hits your website from a social media page or something like that, now you've captured their IP address and essentially can remarket to them. So with the total number of impressions required to drive a sale increasing more and more with the onset of social media, making sure that stand by. It's a weird noise going on outside. All right. So the more touches you can have with a customer, the higher likelihood it is that you're going to close that person. So if somebody hits your website, they're looking for a lawn care quote, they get there, their kid rips its diaper off, and now they're peeing all over the floor. I don't know. Crazy stuff happens in people's lives, and they can't finish that. So that person, you just had to pay that $10 on the pay-per-click lead for that person to come to your website and drop the ball because they got a kid pissing all over the floor. Sucks that happened. However, if you've got the pixel built in, what can happen now is you can take a piece of video content or a graphic, and you can present that to them multiple times now over the course of the next couple weeks, right? So that person who had one search, now when they're on social media, you pop up and they're like, oh yeah, I forgot. Because Levi was peeing all over the floor. I gotta pull that page back up. I don't know why I came up with that scenario, but that happened to me last week. So having these additional touches built in to anyone who's visited your website, what it does is it systematically increases those impressions that your brand has on that person, and it's going to increase the close rate for the quote that you gave them if they did call you, or for them to actually re-engage and get a quote from you. We've seen it over time. We've been doing this for a couple of years now. Massive success. Another thing that you can do is you can take that customer database that you've got, the one that you called already from earlier, the 2,000 customers. You take that list, you can put that into Facebook as well. You can put that into the Meta platform, and what it's going to do, it's going to pull all those customers that have those data points associated with their accounts, and now it's going to create like a little set of customers, your customers, that you can put ads back in front of, right? So if you're not picking the phone up, making those phone calls, we can get in front of them this way as well. It's a little bit more passive. I like to do this typically when there's some other type of initiative in play. So if we've got a mosquito pre-sale campaign or something like that, we're going to start a social media campaign early on in Q1, and then we're going to start some outbound emails and phone calls later on in Q1, early Q2. So now we're kind of moving in the direction of an omni-channel approach where we're hitting them with multiple pieces of content that are saying the same thing, and it's in front of the same people. So like taking the resources we have and just understanding the tools and how to use them, it can really expand how you get in front of your customers and how many you can get in front of. Man, I'm honest. I didn't realize it's been this long already. I'm going to have to wrap it up here pretty soon. Just one more thing, because this one's gold also. So that list you just created, if you do what's called a lookalike list on Facebook, now that all those people that are doing business with you, Google has all these different, or Facebook has all these different data points, right? So if you say, Facebook, make me a lookalike audience that looks like this audience I just gave you, they're going to pull all those different data points. It's going to identify another cohort of customers that are going to be very similar to those people, which if your customers are like ours, those similarities increase the likelihood they're going to do business with us. So that audience with the same or similar type of content being put in front of them, again, a very high likelihood of new business, right? Because they're going to fall into the right categories that lend to a customer coming in the door of Abracadabra or Green Acres or Green Grass, whatever the heck you call yourself. So I know I threw a lot of stuff out there here today. It's really just a few of the things that we do over here. But key takeaways: consistency, strategy and budget. If you can stay consistent with the free things, if it's coming from a place with strategy and some thought into it, and you're not just throwing money at it, and you identify a budget early on and you stay loyal to that without turning it on or off or whatever throughout the year based off of your stress load, you're gonna get big wins this year. So the economy, all these other things, tariffs, all that's going on. You can't control any of that. All the stuff I just said, you can go out into your business and you can make a massive impact. You can not only take care of those customers that need your service, but you can take care of your team members. You can build an organization that's going to be healthy, and it's going to provide more opportunities for people in the future within our community. And that's what I believe as business owners, that's our obligation, is to create opportunities and to really engage in more than just a transactional way with the communities that we serve. So thank you guys so much for joining me on this solo edition of the Homegrown Hustle. Hope you liked it. Welcome to my office. I only have the purple lights on when we're doing this, so this isn't how I roll all the time, everybody. But thank you so much again for all the wishes that you sent to my family and I. We got baby number 4. We got a lot of stuff going on in the Eickman household, but from a business standpoint, we're crushing it, and I know a lot of you are crushing it as well. Thank you for letting me know how you're doing. Appreciate all the good words and the likes and shares and all that. We got some fire coming later on in this season. Some really good guests set up that I'm really excited about. No spoilers right now, but give it a like, give it a share. Stay tuned.
Are you dealing with pest or wildlife issues on your property? Call us at 763-328-0156 or scan the QR code to learn more.
Thanks again for joining us on Homegrown Hustle. Our local business community thrives because of the brilliant leaders right here in our backyard. And it's been an absolute privilege to provide them with a platform to share their invaluable expertise. Stay tuned for more insight, wisdom, and inspiration from our local business champions. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review us on your favorite podcast platform. Together, we'll continue to nurture and expand our homegrown success stories. Matt Eickman signing off until our next insightful episode.